All right, so let's go ahead and say the affirmation together on three. 1, 2, 3. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. All right, that was weak because we don't have a bunch of people on. All right, wait a minute. Here she is. She's back. Oh, you're back. Yamina, thanks for coming back. Sorry.
You're welcome. It's fine.
It's just me being an idiot today. So, all right. So let's say this affirmation one more time, all together on three. 1, 2, 3. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. Thank you. Thank you. So you know what the purpose of that is? It's the very beginning. You need to have the mindset that, hey, I'm building this. This is my business based on my lifestyle, based on my choices. And that's what we teach you here at Realty One Group. You're not going to learn how the brokerage wants you to do real estate. You're going to do real estate based on so the lifestyle that you bring to the table, meaning that if you can only work half a day each day of the week because you take care of your kids and your homeschool in the mornings, then that's when you're going to do real estate. And we teach you how to time block around that, how to make it happen. So for the person who does real estate 7 days a week, 24 hours, 7, I get it. But there's also some of us who do real estate around other family events, or maybe you like there's an agent up at Lake Norman. She sells about 4 to 5 properties a year. She spends most of her time with her kids, but those 4 to 5 properties are $1 million houses. So that's all she wants to make each year. So this is your choice. And like I said, you want to make sure you build a business around your lifestyle, because if you don't, you're going to build something you're going to regret and you're going to hate it. All right, so learning objectives. We're going to talk about a positive mindset, some of the tools that you're going to be using, how to think like a business owner, which is that's my thing. You know, I want you to be an entrepreneur first, understand how to bootstrap, understand how to build something from scratch. That way you don't owe anybody at the end of the day. Library of recommended books. Actually, I don't have that in here right now. We're going to talk about SMART goals, creating a budget and expense worksheet, your productivity, how to track it, how to time block, what is personal accountability, some of the types of prospecting, using scripts and dialogues. Basically, I'm going to make those available to you. Committing to a prospecting schedule. We'll talk about that briefly, and we'll hit on it more in the rest of the modules. What is lead follow-up? What does it look like? And utilizing the GPS tools. All right. Could somebody like in 10 minutes kind of give me like a warning? And it's just to go grab my Coke Zero out of the freezer. I will get going and I'll forget and I'll explode in the freezer before we end this up. So help me and I'll help you. All right, so I put a little bit of humor into this because I want it to be, I don't want you to feel like this is formal training at all. Really, I don't know what your background is in sales or other industry, but a lot of this is not new content if you've been out in the sales world. It's something you've probably seen before. So we're just going to craft it around the idea of real estate and what that means for you. So when we talk about developing your business mindset, these are what we call characteristics for your success in real estate. And so number one, we want agents who have a great work ethic. Now, what does that mean? What is a great work ethic? So that means basically you're willing to hustle. You're going to roll up your sleeves. You know, you're going to do the hard work. You're going to have to put some long hours in. You know, you're going to sweat. You know, this is and you're going to persevere. You're going to do this day in and day out. Otherwise, you're going to fall by the wayside. The first little problem that comes up is going to derail you. So if you already have that great work ethic, then you already have 80% of what it takes to build a business. To be honest, most people don't have what we're going to talk about next, is this unwavering perseverance. As soon as they get frustrated a couple of times, they're out of the business, or they stop working for a couple of months. And in real estate, you can't stop working for a couple of months unless you just want to start all over again. It's just a different type of business. And then that positive make it happen mindset, that is what keeps us going. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have these pep talks to yourself each and every day. Look, as a younger agent, I learned to do it, or a newer agent, I should say. And then as a mega agent, they all do this, like they put it in their calendars, talk positive to myself, listen to positive things. So hard work and discipline, along with diligence, will get you far in this business. The one thing you want to make sure that you do is be consistent. Whatever you say, make sure you do. People are watching you. It's all about trust. And if they don't trust you, you won't have a business. Stick to the schedule that you create for yourself. And the reason you want to create a schedule is because if we don't have a schedule, the work doesn't get done, right? Would y'all agree with me? I'm getting to the point where in my life, if I don't put like filling out a form on my schedule, it doesn't get done. Just so busy, so focused on so many things. So it takes 30 to 60 days to change a habit, okay? And that's what most of the experts are telling us. If you look at programs, books, articles, you know, somewhere in there, somebody will give you an antidote for 30 days. One will say 60 days. One might say 50. Some say 90. But basically, it's 30 to 60 days to change a habit. However, it takes a little longer to change your lifestyle. And what we're doing here is we're changing your lifestyle because we're changing the way you think, the way you do things. And just to be honest, the amount of money that you can make in this business, those things grouped together will change your life. And we hope for the better, because when it changes your life for the better, you can provide for your family, you can provide for others, you can be a help to your community. And that's what this is all about. That's why I stayed in real estate. Yep, I got in it in 2006 for the side money, part-time job, I thought. And then in 2012, it turned into full-time for me. It took me a little while to get it, but once I got it, I understood, hey, this is, there's something real here. And it's not just about making money, it's about helping people and changing lives. So make sure you cultivate that perseverance into your character. Patience is something we're really going to need to work with people to be able to hang in there with them. Some of them are going to look at homes for months before they will commit. But you need to be committed to the business and to yourself first. All right. Accountability, we'll talk a little bit about what that means. Time blocking is one step. I think one of the very first steps in accountability for yourself. Getting a mentor or coach is another step. And great salespeople figure it out. The cool thing is, we're a group, we're a family here. So any questions you have about your business, somebody in our group has an answer for you. So don't be shy about asking questions. Positive mindset, attitude is everything. How you get up in the morning will set the pace for the rest of your day. If you get up in a bad mood, guess what? You're going to be in a bad mood. Others are going to be in a bad mood, and you're not going to be 100% yourself. We already talked about the self-talk. Anybody have any questions? Are y'all still there?
Yep.
All right, just checking. All right, so take personal responsibility. So in our society, I don't know, I think it's been modeled that you blame somebody else when something doesn't get done, that you're never on the hook for anything. Well, that's really not true. We're on the hook for everything. Like we said in the beginning, we build the blueprint for our lives, right? You know, for people of faith, you know, I am a man of faith. So I say that God directs my life, but there are a lot of areas where God allows me to be creative, and he allows me to take on some responsibilities, to develop plans. So that's what we should do. So be 100% responsible. Check in with yourself often. How do you do that? The way I do it is through in the mornings, and sometimes in the evenings, I'll have a quiet time or just a time I get to myself, maybe with a journal and a pen, or it could be just me and my phone because I have a note app on it. But I just think inwardly, just stop, pause everything for 10 or 15 minutes and think, okay, what's going on today? What's going on with me first? What is it I have to do today? Start thinking about what you want. Why is it that you're in this business? You know, for me, it was to help get my family to the next level. Before I went into real estate, I was working for the government, working paycheck to paycheck, like most of us do, and just, you know, enjoyed my job, but just didn't have time or money to do a lot of extra things. Since I really built a business in real estate, since 2012, we've been able to take constant vacations. I've been able to buy extra things for my kids. I was able to, you know, equip them for hockey, dance, and those things, which before I built this business, just to be honest, I struggled to have the money, you know, to buy those things for, you know, just for my kids. So I take it, I really take it to heart. This business is serious, and it really doesn't matter what business you're in. But I'll tell you, just like I tell most people, I think the fastest way to wealth is in real estate sales. May not be like that forever, but right now it is. So anyway, focus on what you want and be deliberate and intentional. You have to go out and get it. Nobody's going to bring it to you. You know, we're going to help you, but nobody's going to build your business for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. All right. So client first mentality. So just like with Realty One Group, we have an agent first mentality. You should have a client first mentality. It means your client comes before you. Okay. When you look out for the needs of others, guess what? I believe that your needs get met in the process. So let's go ahead and look at our clients' needs. So making a commitment to put their needs first. Now, I'm saying needs, I'm not saying their wants and desires, right? Because clients will want you to do any and everything. What their needs are in relation to the real estate business, you need to find that out. And the only way you can find out is to build that rapport. And you can't build a rapport unless you already have that mentality, that thinking in your head. So you always want to work in their best interest. You want to do the right thing. And just like this statement says, I believe the money will flow from that. So think about this: honesty, integrity, and professionalism. Do you really embody that? Do you really hold those to heart? All right. Can you guys see these, or ladies see these two columns? The do's
Yeah.
of real estate? Okay.
Yeah.
Who would like to read through that left column?
I'm driving. I just took my daughter to school, so I'm coming back. I can't.
Okay, no worries.
I can do it.
Okay, just read a few. You don't have to read.
Show confidence, show concern about your customers' wants, needs, and desires, build a rapport and find a common interest, maintain your professionalism under stress, be flexible and ready to learn new techniques and technology. You want to keep going?
That's good. So here, there are lots of things that we should do, right? The reason for this list is some people are just new to business in general. So some people haven't been taught, like the next bullet, dress professional. What does that mean in our industry? Well, usually we know really fast when somebody dresses unprofessionally, right? Because it's like, whoa, wait, you're wearing that? But what does it mean? What is professional? And those are some of the things, you can talk about with your mentor. One thing I've always been taught, and this was, I was taught this at home, but always dress one level above the people that you're working with. And that's not to be elitist or anything else. And that doesn't say it's got to be jeans or polyester or tweed or what, but dress one level up from the people that you're helping or working with. The reason is you want to set a standard, you want to set the bar and let them know that, hey, you are the professional. Sometimes you'll see agents out there showing houses in shorts and stuff like that. I don't think that's professional. If it's 115 degrees outside, then hey, I might wear my shorts as well. But there are times when we can dress down, but there are also some times we should probably dress up. So just know that there are some do's in real estate that you need to follow. Take these and read these on your own. Now, there are some don'ts, and I'm going to go over a couple of these because these are real important. And look, if you're building a business, you have a business reputation. The first one here is don't put down the competition. We all, including myself, we get angry, we get upset about things when somebody does something we don't like. We want to talk bad about Zillow or about agents that work for Mark Spain or whatever. Please don't do that, because what you do, you're telling everybody out there that you can't handle your feelings. Okay. It's not professional. And think about this for a future prospective buyer or seller. If they see or hear you criticizing someone else, they may think, oh, how long before they criticize me? So I'm just telling you that to help you professionally early on, because there's a lot of social media stuff going around. Just don't feel like you have to jump in and be part of that. Be the agent who is positive and supportive. Don't criticize your client. Even if they're wrong, don't criticize them. But there's a right way to correct, there's a right way to make a wrong, but don't put your client down in the process. Don't lose your cool. I have to say that to myself a lot, or, I have in the past. I've only had about 5 or 6 people that I've had to fire, like my clients. And by the way, you can fire a client. If you find out that somebody is not who they said they were, or not easy to work with, or not a match for your skills, talents, and abilities, you can very nicely tell them or recommend them to another real estate professional. Don't make excuses, take responsibility. Here's another thing. Don't sell desperate. Don't go out there and say, hey, I need you to meet with me because I got to make one sale this month. Or don't do that. Even with family, don't sell out of desperation. You're not desperate. You have something people need, and that's knowledge. You're a licensed real estate professional, which means you're an expert in the field now. You're a very, very small percentage of the people who know even what you know about real estate. Okay. So take that to heart. I'm going to move on. You can read the rest for yourself. All right. Visualizations. This is one of my most favorite things. Have you ladies ever used visualization to get to the next level?
No.
I bet you have. You just haven't thought about it in that way. But let me go through the list. So number one, what will help you visualize is to listen to positive things like audiobooks, business podcasts, podcasts or videos of other agents who have, maybe they're where you want to be and they're kind of like you want to emulate them. Whatever it is that you look up to and you see as powerful, listen to that, get that into your mind, get that into your thinking. And this training that we're giving you is part of that. So that'll help you visualize success, visualize you being the business owner or carrying the market share in your market. Number two is experience the feelings of victory, accomplishment, elation. So if you could visualize you being the go-to agent in your area, how would that make you feel? So think about that for a few minutes when you get time. Number three, sit comfortably and run your perfect outcome video in your head. Before you take a test, before you took the real estate exam, I imagine that you kind of ran the scenario through your head, whether you really thought about it or not. Before we do anything huge like that, I believe that it really helps. So I'm in the Army. I run PT tests. I run 2 miles. You have to stay in shape to run the 2 miles, right? You just don't get up in the morning and decide to run a 2 mile, something that you ease into, or for you, it might be 5 miles or 10 miles. But if you visualize that run the night before, what that's going to look like, if you visualize that race, or if you visualize that project, whatever it is you're doing, if you visualize it in your head, you can run through the scenario and predict how you might react. That helps you when you actually do it. Number four is consider 10 to 20 minutes of daily meditation or prayer. Just like I said in the mornings, to clear your head, get by yourself. It could be prayer, it could be just meditating, it should be reflection. But you have to give yourself the space to get these things in your head. Number five, create a vision board and or a notebook or journal, include personal as well as business goals. Use words and pictures. So I'm a visual guy. I love to see the pictures. Okay? If I can see the pictures in a manual, I can build it or put it together faster because I would rather look at the pictures than read the words. That's just me. But pictures build powerful moments in your life. That's why we ask you to do a vision board, and you're probably going to be doing that with your mentor. So whatever it is that you want to accomplish, if it's that dream vacation or being the mega agent of your area or the best mom to your kids there is, start putting yourself in that position and saying, hey, I am that person now. This is what it feels like. This is what I'm going to experience because of it. So visualization really will get you to the next level. Any questions? Okay, so what I would like for you to do, and we don't have time now because I wasted part of it in the beginning with my craziness, but I want you to think about what's an affirmation you would write for yourself, okay? For your success in the business, what would you write to tell yourself? So by next week, I would like you to write an affirmation. And if you want to get on the ROG Facebook group and post it, or if you want to just text it or email it back to me, I'd love to hear your affirmation. is I want to see you ladies get to the next level. And I say that a lot. So an affirmation could sound something like this. I know my value and only work with realistic, qualified, and motivated buyers and sellers. Actually, this is huge. If most agents would just grasp this concept, they wouldn't work themselves to death. If you know what you're worth, you're not going to get in the car. You're not going to drive across the city. You're not going to waste gas and time away from your family from somebody who cannot buy a house. The only way you're going to know that they can buy a house is if they are qualified, meaning you have a pre-approval letter from their lender. On top of that, they have to be motivated. They have to want to buy a house. So these affirmations, if you say this, when it comes to the point where your friend from high school says, hey, can you jump in the car with me tonight? Let's go look at houses around town. You're going to say, well, hold on. I would love to do that. But first, have you talked to a lender? Okay, so trying to help establish a sure footing in your business. All right, so you get the point there. So if we're going to be successful in real estate, there are some tools of the trade that we must have. Are y'all able to see these two
Yeah.
columns? Okay. And Yamina, you might want to watch the video later to see what's on the screen if you can't see it on your phone. So I'll just run through some of these. Some of these probably need to come off, but of course, as an agent in the business, you need a laptop, okay, or computer. You need a computer. Excuse me. All right. You don't need a camera tripod. It's recommended, but one of my pet peeves as an agent trying to be a photographer, when you should pay a photographer, somebody who's an expert in their field, because those are going to be the best photos for your clients, unless you yourself are an expert. But then it gets to the point where photography takes away from your real estate business. Anyway, that's coming from experience. Note cards and envelopes. Yep, those are a must have. You need a good working vehicle. Business cards, separate checking account. You need a name tag. These name tags are important. They sound trivial, but they're important because they offer legitimacy and professionalism when you're out and about. Stamps, of course, and we'll tell you why later. Smartphone with a camera, yes. You need to take notes and take pictures when you're doing a listing consult or a buyer consult, maybe. Internet access, financial calculator, which is in your one app. Personalized yard signs, open house signs, yes. Printer, scanner, copier, we have that at our offices. And a tablet. You don't need a tablet if you have a laptop, vice versa, but they come in handy. All right, any questions about those lists? Okay, we're going to move on to know your market. Time block each day to preview active listings. So if you don't have business coming in, you can take advantage of that by getting on the MLS, just picking a neighborhood and looking at the active listings. I know these are not, you can still do this. When it was in COVID, we're deep in COVID, a lot of sellers and listing agents would not allow previews, but a preview is where you go in as an agent to preview the property. And the purpose is for your market knowledge, or for you're doing it for a client who can't be there. But either way, you get to know the market. Even if you don't go in the listings, you can drive the neighborhoods and get to learn all the different nuances about the neighborhood. Your job is to know the market, and you will. Over time, you'll get to know it well. Don't think you have to know everything up front you want. You will never know everything in real estate because real estate is always changing. But the difference is we're like attorneys. We don't know everything. Well, they think they do. We don't know everything, but we know where to find it, right? We have the reference points. So preview property each and every day. Okay, we're going to skip this part because this has changed a little bit. If you go into one login and you can go and download your agent out from there. So I have to check this and make sure that it's still, I believe this link is not compatible anymore, but just know that we have an app for you to use, searching properties, sharing information with your client. It's really cool, really handy. It captures leads and sends them straight to your CRM. All right, all right. Now we're talking about your strengths. So I really believe that when we work out of our strengths as opposed to our weaknesses, we get much further faster. If you focus on the things you do well, you can run fast and far with those strengths. However, if you just try to work on your weaknesses each and every day, you're not going to get very far because there's a learning curve, a time curve. So am I saying don't work on your weaknesses? No. But what I'm saying is you can fill your weak areas with team members. You can pull another agent in from our office who has expertise in a certain area. You can hire a virtual assistant, a TC, transaction coordinator when the time comes. There are lots of different things you can do, but one of the best things I recommend is you find an agent in the office that you get along with and you partner up and say, hey, let's help each other. So we're all different people. So they're going to have different skills and abilities than you do. So they'll see things you want. But anyway, working in your strengths is the way to go and build a business faster. So there is a worksheet that I'm going to send you where you're going to kind of brush up on your strengths inventory for those who don't know what they might be strong in. It's going to help you. So you'll list your past jobs and the roles. You'll list some of the activities that you performed in those roles that you enjoyed the most. Then you'll list activities you performed the least, and then you're going to look for patterns. And I really wish we had time to do this because this is really eye-opening. Some of you think you're good in certain areas, but you're really awesome in other areas, and you don't put your focus there. So that's why you're always behind. So run your business like a business. Build it with the end in mind. What do you want this business looking like 10 years down the road? If you want to have a team of professional agents working for you, then right now in the first few months of your real estate business, you're not going to waste your time around agents who don't want to be successful. You don't want to waste your time around getting information or help from agents who don't even, do their continuing ed. Okay, things like that is what I'm saying. So you start building your business now the way you want it to be later. Do you want a business you can sell or pass down? You might not now, but later you need to understand that you can monetize your database, your list of clients. Or are you here just to earn extra money, which is okay. All right, so this, I can't remember if I'm giving you this worksheet or not. I have a better business plan than this, and I think it's what I'm going to be emailing you guys. So, by the way, if you will write your email in the chat box before I leave Zoom, I'll copy those down and make sure that I send the worksheets to the correct email. So successful business owners have written business plans, clearly defined goals in all areas of their life. They measure and track results, and they use personal and business budgets. All right, I mentioned building a team. So what I want you to know is that at Realty One Group, our whole office, we're a team. We're your team, okay? You are part of our team. We're part of your team, however you want to look at it. In the business of real estate, you're going to have to interact with lenders, attorneys, maybe even title companies, home inspectors, home warranty companies, or reps. Consider these people as your team. Treat them that way, because if you establish some rapport and some influence with people, they will help you in your business. For example, say maybe you choose a home inspector and you keep giving them your business, they may turn around and send you business. But if we jump from vendor to vendor and don't really give anybody any loyalty, then don't expect other people to give you any loyalty. Okay. And I'm not saying you have to use the same person all the time, but I'm just saying, think about how you want to build your business and your team. So it's not a team as in a real estate team, but it is your team for your business. And it helps when you work with the same people and you know how to work with each other, you get things done faster. All right. Are y'all familiar with SMART goals?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Neither am I.
Okay. So this is a business concept, learn it in business school. So for example, to build a SMART goal, it means they have to meet these 5 different areas. So a goal must be specific enough that, like, for example, it can't be, I just want to lose weight. Okay. It's got to be, I want to lose belly weight or whatever. Okay. Let's just use that example. I want to lose belly weight, and then it has to be measurable. I want to lose belly weight. I want to drop from 150 pounds to 135 pounds within 4 months. Okay, so that's measurable. Is it attainable? 4 months? Yeah, I think I can lose 15 pounds in 4 months, maybe. But it's got to be attainable. It can't be a pie in the sky goal. Like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 6 weeks. And most people just aren't going to do that, right? Unless they're harming their body. And it's got to be relevant. So your goals have to be relevant to what you're trying to achieve. And then they must be timely. Okay. So you're going to give yourself, I'm going to lose 15 pounds of belly weight within 4 months by August the 3rd or whatever that is. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That is a SMART goal. It's just not something hanging out there, but it's something that's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. All right. So the big picture is, think about it. Where are you now? Then transition to this question: where do you want to be? If you were dropped in the Sahara Desert by yourself, nothing else, what would you do? Where would you start? See, that's kind of how we want you to be thinking, because again, nobody's going to build your business for you. We can give you the tools. We can help with accountability, things like that. but you're going to be the action taker. You're going to have to figure it out. What does it mean for you? What does it look like for you? All right. When it comes to personal expenses, you need to know what some of the real estate, when it comes to personal expenses, that's kind of a you thing. You know, we're all different. We spend money different ways. So I can't tell you what your personal expenses are, but some things you might want to look at are on this sheet. So in addition to personal expenses, could be vacation, savings plan. You get the idea. I'm not going to read through all these. As far as your business expenses, we give you, I give you an Excel spreadsheet of some potential business expenses you're going to see. You might not use all of them initially, but down the road, these will help you build a chart of accounts for like if you're using an accounting system for your business. So we're not going to do this personal worksheet. You're going to do this on your own. If you need some help, you're going to ask me or your mentor. How many transactions needed to reach your income goal? This little worksheet will help you with that. And again, we're not going to do this here, but you're going to do this on your own. And then the last little exercise is you need to know what your time is worth. What are you worth hourly? And once you establish that, you might take yourself a little more serious, okay? And look, our hourly is going to be different because it's going to be based on our desired annual income. If you only want to make $100,000 a year, your hourly is going to be lower than someone who desires to make $250,000 a year. But what you choose to do and how you choose to operate after you know what you're worth is on you. For example, if you're worth $75 an hour, you probably don't want to spend, you know, an hour each week building your own, let's just say, drawing a blank, door hangers or something like that. You might want to pay somebody $15 that can take care of it because you're worth $75. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Planning and tracking. The power of a plan is that, hey, we need a map. We have a plan, but we also need a map to help us get there. So the plan will keep us focused. It'll keep us on the right track. And so let's talk about tracking. Why do we want to track, or what would we want to track? Well, we need to track our progress because that keeps us motivated to stay on course. It is okay to make course corrections. That is part of the journey. If you are going down the road and you're not having any issues, any problems, you're probably not doing something right. We're all going to have course corrections. And then, as with anything, you want to know where your money's going when you're building this business. So that's why we give you these worksheets to help you track your money. So think about, what does your current work week consist of? Is it efficient, organized, and highly productive, or is it scattered, disorganized, and wasted time? And if it's scattered, disorganized, and wasted time, don't get upset, because we've all been there. So this is where you can make it right. You want to make sure you focus on revenue producing activities versus supportive activities. Going back to building the brochure, you might want to have somebody who is really good with media and things like that to build your reports or whatever, when you could be using that same time to be calling people, interfacing with people, getting appointments. That is where the money's at. And we'll talk more about that as we progress with RevUp. So, and activities lead directly to income. So indirect activities lead to income, right? But we can't spend 80% of our time there. We got to spend 80% of our time doing what we need to be doing to bring income in. That 20%, we can delegate that out. And this is an exercise that I will be sending you. All right, let's see. All right, Nelly, thanks for your email. I got it here. Time blocking. The whole purpose, I'm just going to go through this. The purpose of time blocking so we can focus on one activity at a time. So whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, if we time block, let's just say we want to time block lead generation, and we're going to do it for 1 hour in the morning. And if it's from 9 to 10, that means from 9 to 10, all we're doing is lead generation. We're not checking emails. We're not doing anything else. Everything else is off. We're just in front of our database and calling people or emailing people, whatever it is you're doing. So there we go. And the perfect week, what it looks like time block, I will give you a copy of that and you can build your own perfect week. Personal accountability, plan your work your plan. If you're not working your plan, you'll be working somebody else's plan and they'll be making the money. That's how the world works. So make sure you get an accountability partner, some accountability tools, coaches, mentors, all of the things that we are giving you today. And before we close out, I want you to understand what prospecting is. Prospecting, we call it circles of opportunity. And we call them opportunity because they're only opportunities until we take advantage of them and turn them into profits, right? Or closings, whatever you want to call it. So if you look at the circles of opportunity, the first place you want to start focused on in your real estate business is the inner circle. Can somebody tell me why?
Those are the relationships that you already built and trust is established.
Right. Hold that thought. I got to grab that Coke out of the freezer.
Oh, you remember we didn't.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
Yep, I knew I would forget.
Is it still in one piece?
Okay, when we're talking about building a business, saving money, thinking purposefully, you don't want to waste money trying to attract people that you don't know when you can attract people who do know, love, and trust you without spending a dime. And so working your sphere of influence is something I'm going to really focus on a lot during the training. Then we have the middle circle, which are they are connections, but not really a business connection yet. These are our friends in social media, past coworkers, people we know from church, civic organizations. And then the outside circle is people that we have not met yet. They do not know us, but through farming or finding us on a real estate sign or on a website, they're gonna, we're gonna be in touch with them. So we'll talk more about this model later. All right, so the GPS tools, all this is a list of what I'm going to be sending you. And so we're going to close out with the one habit. So I'm going to explain to you what the one habit is. So if you'll get into the habit of utilizing the one habit, you will grow your business. So a lot of agents, they clam up when we tell them, you got to call people every day. You got to get out there and meet people, handshake, give out business cards. But seriously, all you have to do is make 3 calls a day. If you work real estate 3 days a week, then that's 9 calls a week, right? So if you're working 5 days a week, that's 15 calls a week. This is very manageable. This will take you less than 10 minutes. but you want to call 3 people and tell them you're in business, okay? Ask for their business. You're going to add those 3 people to your database. And then you're going to write 6 handwritten note cards. 3 of those note cards are going to be to the 3 people you just added to your database. And the other 3 are going to be 3 other people that you choose to stay in touch with. Specifically people that are already in your database. Or if they're not, just add those 3 too. So that 336, 3 calls, 3 ads, and 6 handwritten note cards. Do you know why we say the handwritten note cards? And these go in an envelope with a stamp. Because people
it's
will
personal.
open. Yes, it's personable. People will open something that's sent directly to them. It's not the mass mailers that come out and you can tell it's pre-printed. This is handwritten. This is a personal note to you, and that's what it should look like, whether it's a card or a letter. And we have some Realty One group cards just for that. If you want to talk to Amanda about getting some. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Any questions before we end? right.
I have a question.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to stop the recording.